Bound to be quite the comedian, Carl will now perform a stand-up routine for y'all.
Hello. I actually forgot to prepare a talent for tonight, so I decided I'm just gonna wing it. Oh, that was pretty stupid. Anyway, I told my friend I was going to do that for my talent, and he didn't believe me, so Declan, there you go. Did you get it? It was a pun combined with prop humor. Comedy, that's what I'm going to do for you. Yeah, in preparing this, I did actually kind of put it off to the last minute. That's because I'm like the master at procrastination. I'm like the Michael Jordan at procrastination. That's not really a funny comparison. What's like a funny comparison that would illustrate how good at procrastinating I am? I'm like it doesn't matter. I'll think of one later. Yeah, I procrastinate all the time. I don't know how I got through high school. And honestly, I don't understand like the whole concept of procrastination. Like I get what it is, but I don't understand like why. Why do humans procrastinate? Because human beings have been evolving for millions of years so that we are perfectly adapted for this earth that we live on. So what possible evolutionary reason could there be for having a trait that is the uncontrollable tendency to put off important tasks in order to carry out pointless ones? Like how did that not make us die out a million years ago? Like were the cavemen sitting around in their caves thinking, I should probably go hunt down some food in order to feed myself so that I can survive? For the convenience of this joke, we're going to pretend that cavemen spoke modern English in an American accent. It's my joke, I can do what I want. Where was I? Oh yeah, I should probably hunt down some food in order to feed myself so that I can survive. But I gotta get that 2048 tile. For the convenience of that joke, we're going to pretend that cavemen had access to the App Store. Maybe, who knows, maybe cavemen weren't procrastinating and it's just the technology era we live in that's making me procrastinate so much. Either way, I should not be starting six-page final essays in AP English classes at 1 in the morning after I watch 5 hours of Vine videos. Who knows how many Vine videos that is, that's definitely not healthy. But in earlier lower-level English classes, I remember learning like the correct formulaic process for writing a good essay. Something to do with brainstorming, making a web with like connecting bubbles and writing way too many drafts. I don't exactly remember what the teacher was saying. I was probably having a side conversation. I'm pretty certain the correct formulaic process for writing a good essay doesn't involve starting the essay 4 hours before it's due in the morning, pounding a couple bottles of Mountain Dew, sitting there at my computer pulling out my hair, looking at that little blinking line on Word document, hoping that an idea will miraculously pop into my head. Changing the entire thing to size 13 font to see if that'll give me the extra 3 pages I need. Finally admitting defeat, curling up into the fetal position with an intense feeling of self-loathing and vowing to start my next essay more on time, only to repeat the whole process 2 weeks later. I don't think that's what Mr. Reynolds was trying to teach us, but then again, I was probably having a side conversation. Procrastination. Television is a great way to procrastinate. I watch a lot of TV. I love television, but let's be honest, there's some awful shows out there. There's like 1,000 channels and half of them are just making the most ridiculous things into shows. What do we got, like toddlers and tiaras, all those, all those Real Housewives, Sarah Palin's Alaska, the WNBA. Ice Road Truckers. They made a show just following around semi-truck drivers with a camera. I feel like punching a puppy in the face when I get stuck behind a semi-truck for more than 5 minutes on the highway. Who thought that that would be a good idea to make into a show for entertaining people? There's a show on Animal Planet that's a very interesting one. Well, not really. It's called Finding Bigfoot. Yeah, Finding Bigfoot. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the show Finding Bigfoot, basically what you need to know is never watch Finding Bigfoot. It's essentially a show where 4 rednecks wander around a forest not finding Bigfoot for an hour. They don't do the one thing that the title of their show says they do. Maybe looking for or trying to find Bigfoot would be better. But I don't understand, like, who's watching this show? Like, are there actually people out there thinking that they're gonna find Bigfoot that just get so let down at the end of the episode when they don't? Just, oh man, I really thought they were gonna get him this time. Maybe next episode. Like, how are they making money? If anybody ever finds Bigfoot, it's gonna be, you'll know, it's gonna be all over the internet, it's gonna be all over the newspapers, Sasquatch found, not a hoax. You're gonna know that they found Bigfoot. It's definitely not gonna happen on this show. And I don't understand how they're making money. Like, how did this start? Did the film crew go out with the intent that they were gonna find Bigfoot? Then they came back to the producer like, all right, so we actually didn't find him, but we've got about 100 hours of us not finding him. 100 hours of footage, and the producer's like, what, you didn't find him? And they're like, nah, we heard some rustling in the dark. One guy found a scratch in the bark of a tree, that was pretty interesting, but no Bigfoot. The producer's like, and they're like, yeah, so what should we do with this 100 hours of footage that we have of us not finding Bigfoot? The producer's like, well, what if we just showed it anyway? Yeah, I think we might really have something here. They're like, really? You heard us say that we didn't find him, right? You think America wants to watch us not find Bigfoot for hours and hours? Producer's like, have you seen TV today? There's like 4 different variations of the show to keep up with the Kardashians. America will watch anything. And the producer was right. America will watch anything. Finding Bigfoot has been going strong for 4 seasons. There's 54 episodes of people not finding Bigfoot. I could go to downtown Bend, sit on a bench, and watch a homeless guy take a nap if I really wanted to see someone not find Bigfoot. I would be accomplishing the exact same thing as one episode. Though I will admit that having 1,000 channels with way too many options of what to watch is a lot better than not having enough channels. That's how it was in my house for about 5 years growing up. My parents took away cable. We had cable, yeah, I know. We had cable, and then my dad walked in on my sister, like watching something inappropriate on MTV, or at least what he deemed as inappropriate for an 8-year-old girl to be watching. It was like some tan douche in a banana hammock on some beach somewhere, the real unemployed losers of Atlanta, or whatever MTV was doing back then. I already talked about pointless shows, so I won't get into that, but yeah, so he freaked out. He was like, all right, I have had enough with these banana hammocks, no more cable. And so we got those bunny ear antenna things, those ancient ones, you know, they got like 3 channels, they worked like half the time. Pretty sure they were what Eric was using on his TV in his basement in that 70s show. Little relatable reference humor for all the kids out in the audience. That 70s show was actually pretty much the only good show I got on those bunny ear antenna. So one day I went down and I went to watch my crappy bunny ear TV, and surprise, there was nothing good on. It was like the weather on one channel, and then like Judge Judy on another channel. And now exciting as overly aggressive civil disputes are, the judicial process isn't the most intriguing to an 8-year-old. And then there was like an infomercial. And so out of these 3 options, I chose to watch the infomercial. Yeah, I watched an entire hour-long infomercial. I had nothing better to do. What was I supposed to do, like, go outside? And it turns out, actually, that the marketing strategies they use in infomercials are irresistible to 10-year-olds. I was hooked to this thing. At first, well, I had never seen an infomercial before, so I was just watching, like, you know, waiting for the show to start. I thought it was just a normal commercial. And then once I realized, by the time I realized it was an actual show and it was just a show that was a commercial, it was too late. I was already hooked. I had to buy what they were selling me. And now the product of this infomercial that had captivated my young attention was, wait for it, a set of kitchen knives. Yes. I was in the 5th grade. I had never dealt with kitchen knives before. I was too busy dealing with changes in my body to worry about cutlery. But I did know one thing about kitchen knives, and that was that my house needed these kitchen knives. Oh yeah, they had sold me good. I was glued to the TV like, that knife just sliced the hell out of that tomato. That was awesome. The only person that was more excited about these knives than me was the person actually doing the demonstration. He was just finding random stuff to cut. He was like, look at this coconut. I'll cut this, it's like butter. Look, a 2x4, you need to cut a 2x4, no problem. Have you ever wanted a knife that could slice right through the hood of a Volkswagen? And I'm like, yeah, now I do, that sounds awesome. He's like, you order now, you'll get these 16 small knives, they sharp as hell. You'll get these 8 medium knives, you'll get these 4 bigger knives, you'll get these 2 giant knives, you'll get this 1 giant ass knife. It's so sharp. And you know what? I'll throw in a set to hold the knives, and I'll throw in a knife sharpener. You know what? Screw it. I'll even throw in an authentic Japanese samurai sword. All for $14.99. And I'm like, $14.99? Jesus, that's nothing. And he's like, I know, seriously. And I'm like, did he just talk to me? He's like, if you call now, I'll double everything. You'll get 2 sets of knives, 2 holders, 2 sharpeners. That's 2 freaking authentic samurai swords. And I'm like, Jesus. And he's like, you better call now though, because this deal is only available for the next 30 minutes. And I'm like, holy fuck. Whatever word I used to use back then when I got excited. So I'm like, 30 minutes, Mom! My mom comes running in like, what? What's the matter? I'm like, look at this infomercial. We gotta get these knives. She's like, what are you talking about? There's a perfectly good set of knives up in the kitchen right now. I'm like, no, but look, you'll get $14.99. You'll get all these knives. Look at this infomercial. Just watch this infomercial. She's like, all right, we're getting cable again. So when it comes to TV, if you have way too many options, you'll end up watching a bunch of guys wander around a forest, not finding Bigfoot. And if you don't have enough options, you'll end up with 2 authentic Japanese samurai swords. So if you really want to procrastinate, you should probably just do what everyone else is doing and get Netflix. Thank you.